but I'd rather still give it all to you and your mother. And yet I still have to prove myself to you. Yes, you do. Dropping you into this world of mine unprepared would not be a kindness. It can be brutal, and I can guarantee you inheriting my fortune will earn you more than a few enemies. If you can't deal with Rosalind and the others now, you'll have a lot of trouble later on. I see. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes some sense. I admit that now I've worked for a few nobles, their world doesn't seem nearly as pleasant as I first imagined it would be. It has to be easier than what Mom and I have been through, though. I wanted to ask about that if it's not too difficult for you to talk about. I want to know what I did to her and what I did to you. I wouldn't know where to start. Well, start at the beginning then. Do you know what happened to your mother after I know the basics. She went to her parents after you left her. She thought they'd help, but they wouldn't. Not unless she got rid of me. Mom wasn't willing to do that, though. She kept me and started looking for some way to support both of us. No one wanted to anger your family, so they avoided hiring her. She only had a few options left after that, and she ended up working for some less than reputable people. I think she mostly smuggled things for them. She avoided telling me as much as possible, but I started piecing together as I got older. Was she at least able to keep you from that sort of life? No. There was this one time when she disappeared for a few days. I didn't really know what to do. I mean, I finished off the food we had, but after that I had to figure out how to survive without her. I met this girl named Dina. She was really good at pickpocketing, and she took pity on me. She showed me some of her tricks, and we started working together. Mom eventually came home, but I didn't stop stealing. Not until long after that. Why was she gone so long? Did she get into some sort of trouble? That's what she told me when I was a kid. But that wasn't it. I don't think I should say. You've already admitted a lot already. How much worse can it be? Lord Sandra's eyes widened. She didn't kill anyone, did she? No! We never stooped that low. She just couldn't take it. I bit my lip. I already came this far. I just hope he doesn't think less of her. She left me intending to go back to her parents. She just wanted things to be easy again. It was a lapse in judgment, and she did come back. And that's why I didn't want to tell you. I don't have any right to judge. No, you don't. Thank you for telling me. Well, yeah. It feels kind of good to tell you all that off my chest anyway. I think that's enough for today, though. Will you come back and speak with me again? I might. Lord Sandra gives me a nod. I hope you do. I get from my chair and head for the door. Maybe I will come back. This wasn't nearly as unpleasant as I thought it would be. It was actually kind of nice, really. Would it be so hard to just forgive him? He might not deserve it, but do I really gain anything by holding a grudge? Exactly. I have to say that this game's story, the writing is very good. The story is very engaging. They utilize the cast of characters very well. And I like how the relationships, whether it's romantic relationships with one of the servants, whether it's a friendship with the servants, whether it's the relationship you have with your father, it's very well paced. You know, things definitely look like it naturally takes its course over a long period of time, and you're not just jumping in the sack or ultimately saying, "Daddy," after only like a short amount of time. So that is really, really good. I open the door and run into Licia in the hallway. She jumps when she sees me, eyes wide. Licia, did you? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I close the door behind me. Lord Sandor doesn't need to be involved in this. I heard everything. I know I should have stopped listening, but I pat her on the head. She looks up at me, even more surprised and confused than before. It's fine. I trust you to keep it quiet. I hope she can keep a secret. Licia never really struck me as someone who could particularly keep a secret. But... She stops herself and bites her lip uncomfortably. I'm not mad, Licia, and this doesn't change anything. You're too nice. She sighs and straightens up before managing a small smile. It's not as convincing as her usual one, but it'll work for now. Well, I better get back to work then. Not all of us have the day off. Don't work too hard now. She laughs earnestly. I never do. Don't let Vincent hear that. Wow, so Licia knows. Great. I kind of wanted Kamal to know before she did. Like, definitively, Kamal to know. Maybe Kamal already does know definitively, but... She winks at me and then heads off down the hallway. Hopefully this won't change my relationship with her. I don't want her treating me differently just because I'm Lord Sandor's son. Still, if she was that bothered by that, by what she heard, how can it not? Okay. Alright. We are getting up there. 174 days. 26 out of 34. Kamal's relationship is going up. And our reputation is getting up. You know, we need 32 more reputation. I might just make it. We'll see. Or I might just barely lose it. We'll see. We only have 7 weeks left. Less than 2 months. I don't think I'm gonna hit 90 reputation. Unless we have a whole string of, like, skill checks coming up very soon. My diligence is almost 90, though. I stand at the kitchen counter next to Licia as we cut up apples in silence. Oops. No. Return. I haven't had a good chance to talk to her lately. Part of that might be bad luck, and I'm starting to think that a good majority of it is because she's avoiding me. I think that it was related to her finding out that I'm Lord Sanders' son, but she'd been acting normal up until recently. Still, I can't think of anything else that could cause her to act this way. Well, whatever the case, she can't exactly avoid me now. Renee is working on the opposite side of the kitchen rolling out dough, so I'll have to avoid being direct if I want to keep my secret. The fact is, leaving me a bit perplexed on how I should approach the subject, but I don't want to miss this chance. I guess I'm going with the I'll make it up as I go plan. Licia, about you overheard the other day. She pretends to stay focused on her work, but I can tell she's nervous by the way her slicing slows down. I'm sorry if it surprised you, and I realize it might be hard to process. Do we have to do this now? I bite my lip. I didn't expect her to brush me off, and I definitely didn't expect her to do it so directly. Well, is there a better time? No. This is harder than I thought it'd be. I don't want to be pushy, but I need to do something if I want to fix things. I can't just leave things the way they are. I just don't want things to be different between us. If that's possible. I'm trying, Marcel. I want things to be the same too, but she trails off, and I'm not sure she doesn't know what to and I'm sure if she doesn't know what to say, or if she has the words but doesn't want to say. Before I can think about it too deeply, Renee stops what she's doing and turns around to face us. I know it's probably none of my business, but I'm having trouble pretending I'm not here, so I'm just going to ask, what is going on with you two? Nothing! Renee stares Licia down, very unconvinced. Licia fidgets slightly and then turns her gaze to the ground, guilty. I guess that means I'm free to tell Renee whatever I want. I'm not sure if that's a blessing or not, though. Oh, yeah, let's just tell everybody else then. Well, it's not nothing, but it is something I'd rather not talk about. All I'll say is that Licia overheard me talking about something personal with someone. Renee places her hands on her hips and sighs. And now I'm imagining things that are probably way worse than the truth. Do I even want to ask? No, you do not. Well, I'm still keeping quiet on the matter. Sorry, Renee, but it's not something I want to spread around. Fine. I don't like being out of the loop, but I can understand having secrets you want to keep secrets. She turns her attention to the apples we were cutting up moments ago. Looks like you're pretty close to finishing up. Ah, right, we better get back to that. Nope. I can finish the pies by myself, so don't worry about that. You two are going to find some quiet section of the mansion away from prying eyes and sort things out. Well, thank you, Renee, I appreciate that. Huh? But No buts. I don't want to work around all this dramatic tension you two are emitting. So get going and don't come back until you've settled things. Got it? Thanks, Renee. Oh, don't thank me. I'm sure I'll find a way to make it even later. I'm sure I'll make it a way to make it even later. Come to think of it, there's a tournament coming up that I really want to catch. Got it. I'll cover for you. Good boy. Now get going already. You're wasting time. Renee waves her hand, shooing us towards the door. Oh, into our bedroom. When we leave the kitchen, Licia and I end up going to my room. It's the best place to talk without being interrupted, especially since it's midday and all the other servants should be at other parts of the mansion working. Of course, if anyone sees Licia entering or exiting the room, we could end up causing a bit of a scandal. We'll have to be careful about that. Anyway, that's a thought for later. Right now, I have to talk things out with Licia, and that's easier said than done. I'm not sure how I should start us off. Interestingly enough, I don't have to. Licia speaks up first. I'm sorry, Marcel. I know I'm making things difficult when they shouldn't be. Don't apologize. It wouldn't be fair for me to expect you to accept something like that right away. No, it's not that. I blink. It's not? That's a surprise. I mean, it was a surprise, and I wasn't sure what to make of the information right away, but it's not that. Yo, Marcel. Being Lord Sanders' son might change some things, but it doesn't change that. It's just, there is something that information complicates. I'm confused. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not sure if I should say more, though. She looks at me, taking a moment to weigh her options. Ooh, charisma. Skill check. Licia runs a hand through her hair and lets out a small sigh. I need to make up my mind on something. I think I want to tell you, but I need a bit more time to make sure that's what I want to do. Is that okay? Of course that's okay. You are not obligated to tell me anything if you don't... You're not obligated to tell me anything if you don't want to. Yes. Get that reputation up. I just need 2 and... a little just under 3 shields. True. Licia smiles slightly. It's small, but it's honest. I don't have to tell you anything. You don't have to sound so happy about that, you know. I know. It is oddly freeing, though. Thanks, Marcel. We both go quiet a bit. It's an awkward silence. Licia decides to break it. So Lord Santa is your father? I don't know how I'd feel about that if I were in your position. I'm not sure how to feel about it either, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I've known about him for a long time, so I've been able to get used to the idea that he is my father, but during that conversation you overheard was the first time I've really considered accepting him as my father. And that's actually a pretty big difference. Though I suppose how I think of him doesn't really matter, does it? He's dying. It's not like there is time to really change anything between us. It does matter. Don't think that it doesn't. You're probably the one who wants to accept him the most. If you can do that, then maybe he'll be able to pass on without any regrets. It wouldn't be for nothing. So you think I should forgive him? Well, that's not my decision to make. You're the one who has to make that call. It's easy for me to say that you should, but I was never wronged by him. Wasn't ever wronged by him. At least not to the extent you were. He has yelled at me a few times, but that's not really the point. Anyway, what I said stands. It's really up to you. I can't make that decision for you. I have held a grudge against him for so long, though. It would feel weird just giving it up after all this time. Well, I've never held a grudge longer than a week, so I'm afraid I don't have any advice regarding that. Sorry. Yeah, Marcel, you need to stop with the grudge already and get on with your life. Don't worry, I didn't exactly expect you to have all the answers. I may not have all the answers, but I am pretty wise. Uh-huh. She hits me lightly in the arm as a payback for my sarcasm. And in my great wisdom, I've concluded that you do want to forgive him. Otherwise, you wouldn't be stressing over this so much. I think she has a point, Marcel. Yeah, you may have a point. Okay, there is no way there is no may have about it. Licia does have a point. If I really still hated him, I wouldn't be thinking about forgiving him. The fact that I'm wavering means I'll eventually give in anyway, doesn't it? And the sooner I do that, the more time I'll have with him before he dies. Hey, Licia? Is it nice having a dad? Oh, yes, I guess it is. That's not the reaction I was expecting. I suddenly wondered if I've asked an insensitive question. Do you not have one? I do. I have a dad, a mom, and a little brother. That sounds nice. It is. Awareness. Yes. Licia, is everything okay with you and your family? Licia's eyes widen in surprise. Oh, what makes you think it's not? Yes, I need to get 2 more shields. Well, your answer was short. You kept it that way because you didn't want to talk about it, didn't you? She sighs. Well, you're right. I was on good terms with my family at one point, but I've fallen out of favor since then. Why? I embarrassed them. But I'd rather not go into that if you don't mind. I've said a lot more on the subject than I intended to. You know, we've been talking for a while now, but I don't know if we've actually gotten anywhere. Silly, huh? I think we have. Now I know that if I just give you some time, you'll sort things out by yourself. I was worried before, but knowing that much is definitely a relief. And, well, you helped me figure something out. I did? Yeah. I think I'm going to forgive him. Think? Let's try that again with a bit more commitment. Fine. I'm going to forgive him. Yay! Right after I figure out how I want to talk to him about it. Ugh, why do you have to go and add that? Well, I guess we'll just have to settle for about half a victory for now. If you said everything you wanted to say, we should go back to Renee. Sounds good. And this time, I won't ignore you. I still have a lot on my mind, but it's no excuse for being rude to a friend. Of course. Nice. My reputation is going up. So hopefully I'll be able to get to my heir stuff. That would be pretty cool. Keep going. Relationship with Kamal is going up. Yeah. Diligence is going up. We gotta max this out. Yes. Nice. Alright, so now that we've maxed out, can I keep going? I have a bit of free time. It's not enough to go into town, but it is enough to check in on Kamal and see what's going on in the garden, so that's what I decided to do with my time. To my surprise, the garden has changed around quite a bit. The main part is still the same, but Kamal has dug up a sizable chunk of ground on the far end. It seems to be part of some expansion project. I guess this means he's really going through with it. I still got mixed feelings about him putting so much effort into a garden that might not last, but I'm a little excited too. I do want to see what he ends up creating. Oh my goodness, physiques need to be 90? Really? Really? Oh. Kamal finishes putting up more dirt on an already large pile before wiping his brow. I decided to skip the greetings and jump right onto my question. What are you planting? Kamal sticks his shovel into the dirt and leans on it as he turns his attention towards me. I was thinking I'd plant some trees. Did you already buy the seeds then? Not yet. I was going to go into town later today. You're welcome to come along if you'd like. I think Vincent had some other work for me, but I can make a recommendation? Of course. You should get fruit trees. They can just be as pretty as regular trees, and then there's the added benefit of being able to eat whatever they produce. I was actually planning on it. You were? Kamal nods. I figured you'd like something practical. Besides, it should provide an interesting challenge. I haven't grown anything with an intention of producing something edible yet. Thinking about suddenly becoming a farmer? I know you're joking, but it's not a bad idea. I'd probably be good at it. True. You already do a great job with the flowers. I imagine you'd pick it up quickly. Do you have any interest in farming, Marcel? I never really thought about it, to be honest. I don't think I'd hate it, though. Why? Just thinking. I have some money saved up. What if I bought some land and started a farm? It'd be a small one, but it could be nice. What do you think? Well, it'd be more work, but it'd be yours. It does sound like it could be nice. Kamal nods. Well, it's just a thought for now. I owe Lord Sando a lot, and I wouldn't feel good about leaving Vincent behind. Still, things can't stay the way they are now forever. Maybe I'll consider it. Kamal slips into deep thought for a moment. I think he'd be happy on a farm. Still, I don't really like the idea of him leaving to go start one up. Then again, he did ask me if I had any interest in it. Maybe he would invite me along. Would I go, though? I guess I have something to think about, too. Think you could grab the watering can for me? Huh? Oh, yeah, I can do that. Thanks. I nod and head over to the shed where Kamal usually leaves the watering can. I don't see it right away, so I look around before deciding that it isn't here after all. Kamal must have left it somewhere else. I'm not sure where else he would have put it, though. As far as I know, he always puts it back where it belongs. Guess that's not the case today, though. I give the main part of the garden a cursory glance. Where could it have gone? I don't see it there either. I walk around absentmindedly when I notice a set of muddy footprints leading further into the garden and around the backside of the mansion. Kamal's? They'd have to be, I think. Maybe he's working on something back there. If that's the case, maybe the watering can is back there. It's worth a quick look anyway. I start to follow the footprints when I suddenly hear Kamal's voice. Hold on. Kamal sighs, looking kind of grumpy. I didn't leave the watering can by the shed, did I? Nope, it wasn't there. I'll get it. You're doing something back there, aren't you? Yeah. Can I see? I said I'd get the watering can, didn't I? So that means I can't? Kamal sighs. Well, no. I was going to show you eventually anyway. It's just, they're not quite ready. Kamal lets out another sigh. And with that, I've probably ruined the surprise anyway. Come along, then. Kamal starts moving, and I follow until we reach a stone flower bed full of blue flowers. I have plans to do more with it, but this is as far as I've gotten. They're those flowers from the book, right? Yup. You've been growing them in secret? Since when? Kamal takes a moment to think about it. Since we started drawing up concept sketches of possible modifications to the garden. You've been keeping this a secret since then? It's really not that far from the main part of the garden, so I'm a little baffled that I didn't know it existed until now. Kamal assigns my jobs when I work in the garden, so it'd be easy enough for him to make sure I don't work on anything that might have clued me in, but still. It wasn't easy, but I managed. Still, you did find out before I wanted you to. I was hoping they'd be in full bloom when I showed you them for the first time. I crouched down to see the flowers better. They might not be ready yet, but they're still beautiful. Have they been really hard to grow? They're a bit high maintenance, but they aren't as bad as the book made it sound. I think they're prettier in real life than they were in the book. I think they were prettier in the right than they were in the book. They smell nice, too. I reach out and gently touch one of the petals to the nearest one. It's really soft. Then again, it'd be weird if it wasn't. I'm glad you like them. I stand up and turn back towards Kamal. I feel kind of silly asking, but I have to know for sure. Did you grow them just for me? Yes. Why? Because I want to make you happy. But this is going a little far just to make me happy, isn't it? I don't feel like it is. You're special, Marcel. What is that supposed to mean? I think you're perfectly capable of figuring that out on your own. You like me? It's more than that. You love me? I do. He looks me in the eye and I feel a heat rise in my face. I'm definitely blushing. I don't know what to say. Of course, Kamal doesn't ask me to say anything. Instead, he steers the conversation back into more comfortable territory. Anyway, you have some free time, right? Let me just finish watering the other plants and then we can get some practice in if that sounds good to you. Okay. Don't want to? No, I want to. I just can't believe how casual he's being right after his confession. I headed over to our practice area, my mind in a bit of a haze. I have a feeling Kamal will be lecturing me about getting distracted today. Aww. And I think my relationship with Kamal is just gonna keep, it's gonna keep going great. Alright. This shouldn't be that hard. All I have to do is knock on the door, go inside and tell Lord Sander, my father, that I forgive him. That's all. And yet I've already wasted a good 10 minutes just lingering in the hallway trying to work up my nerve. To make the situation even sadder, this isn't even my first attempt. I've made this same pathetic attempt every day for the last 3 days and still haven't managed to get farther than this. Ugh, I hate myself. I pound my head against the wall in frustration when one of the guest room doors clicks open. That doesn't look particularly productive. At least it's not Lady Rosalind. Still, I wouldn't have rather not been caught at all. I let out a sigh. I'm not in the mood for your teasing right now. I was aware you had to be in the proper mood before I could tease you. You'll have to forgive me for all my past indiscretions. Don't. Please. Lord Sheeran crosses his arms but doesn't make any smart comments. Maybe saying please actually made a difference. Did you tell the Lord Sandor something? Did you need to tell Lord Sandor something? What makes you think that? He gestures towards Lord Sandor's door. Right, I guess it would be the obvious conclusion considering I'm standing in front of his door. Maybe? Yes. Right, let's go tell him then. He reaches for the doorknob and I respond instinctively, grabbing his arm to stop him. Don't. Look, if you're in some sort of trouble, it's better to tell him straight out. He'll be grumpy about it at first, but I doubt he'll fire you to stop worrying. So stop worrying. It's not that. I'm not in trouble, at least I shouldn't be. Then you have bad news for him not related to yourself? No, it's not that either. Then why exactly are you hesitating? If you're not in the wrong, you don't have any reason to be scared. I'm not scared. Okay, I am, and Lord Sheeran knows it, but actually admitting that out loud is too embarrassing to do. I try to calm down so that my tone isn't as sharp, but some of it still seeps into my next few words. You don't understand. You're right, I don't. How about you explain it to me so that I do understand instead of getting mad at me? I wasn't getting mad at you. Your tone says otherwise. I know he's just trying to help, but that thought doesn't keep me from getting aggravated. I don't want help, and more than that, I don't want to explain myself to anyone. Why'd I have to turn into Lord Sheeran? Right, that's my fault too. If I'd just gone through with it the first time, I wouldn't have gotten caught in this position in the first place. Maybe I'm in the wrong in this one, but he doesn't get to finish. In that moment, interruption of loud coughing comes from inside the room. Lord Sheeran opens the door, and before I realize what I'm doing, I follow him inside. We both rush to Lord Sander's side as he struggles to breathe between bursts of coughing. Not this again. What do we do? The doctor did something when this happened before. It was a spell. Something kind of simple, I think. Lord Sheeran closes his eyes and tries to focus. Lord Sander lets out another series of violent coughs, effectively cutting off Lord Sheeran's thought process. It's no use. I can't remember. Lord Sheeran turns his attention to me just long enough to give me orders. Go get Dr. Borges. Right, that's the best option. I take a step towards the door before realizing I don't actually know a very key bit of information. I don't know how to find him. Lord Sheeran runs a hand through his hair. I don't know either. He has a clinic in town somewhere, but... Lord Sheeran brightens. Ask Vincent, he'll know. Just do it. I rush out of the room and went down the stairs. I have one task. Find Vincent. That much I should be able to handle. When I get to the bottom of the stairs, one of the guests staying with us tries to stop me. Ah, perfect timing. You there, I need your assistance. Not now, I don't have time for this. Etiquette. Nice. Getting Lord Sanders some help is the priority, but if I keep it short, I can explain things in a polite manner as I pass and avoid wasting time. Apologies, your lordship, but I'm in the middle of something very urgent at the moment. I'm afraid I can't stop to help you. I brace myself, hoping you won't get too mad. Ah, well, if it's that important, sorry for stopping you. Good. I need to get another shield. Just under 2 more shields and I've got it. He backs off and I breathe a sigh of relief. So there are some reasonable nobles out there after all. Go figure. I take another few steps before yet another worry sets in. I don't know where Vincent is right now. Lord Sanders' mansion is huge, and Vincent has so many duties it's nearly impossible to pinpoint where he'll be at any given time. Do they not have like a schedule somewhere? It'd be one thing if I had to search for him, but we need to get Borges here as well as soon as possible. An idea strikes me and I head to the garden. Vincent might not always be in one place, but Kamal is. With any luck, he'll know where to find Borges, or at least where to find Vincent. Kamal turns attention to me when I enter the garden. Kamal, I need your help. Kamal sits down the bag of soot he's carrying and steps towards me. He seems to sense my urgency. What can I do? I need to find Dr. Borges. Lord Sander, I choke on my words. Thankfully, Kamal doesn't ask me to spell it out for him. Got it, let's go. Kamal moves with a haste, and I haven't previously seen from him as we make our way into town. We head down several streets before stopping outside of a clinic. That is it? Kamal nods. I'll get him. Kamal enters the building, leaving me by myself. I don't want to be alone right now. Certain thoughts keep threatening to overwhelm me. The main one being, what if he dies right now? I never told him that I forgive him. I don't know if I can deal with that. If this doesn't work and he dies... Kamal returns with Dr. Borges at his side. Neither of them bother with small talk as we make our way back to the mansion. Oh wow, they're all here. When we reach Lord Sandor's room, Borges gets to work immediately, well without Vincent. He mutters a spell under his breath, and Lord Sandor's body visibly relaxes almost instantly. This is the second time it's been this bad, right? As far as I know. Borges nods as Lord Sandor's breathing evens out. He should be okay for now. I'll stay with him a bit longer just to make sure but the rest of you should give him some space for the time being. Lord Sander looks in my direction weakly. He coughs again, attempting to clear his throat. His voice sounds strained. Marcel. You can speak with him later. You need to rest right now, your lordship. Lord Sander grumbles to himself, but gives up for the time being. He takes another breath and then settles onto his bed. Kamal is the first to move. He heads to the door and holds it open for Lord Sheeran and me. I take it as him telling us that it's time to go. We take our leave, ending up in the hallway. Kamal keeps going, but Lord Sheeran and I drag our feet a bit. When Kamal is out of sight, Lord Sheeran stops me. Maybe I should have been the one to go get the doctor. Huh? He wouldn't stop saying your name, or at least trying to anyway. I'm a bit jealous. I suppose it's not really my business, but he seemed to want to talk to you as much as you want to talk to him. What that's about is between you and him, but you should tell him soon. You're running out of time. That said, Lord Sheeran heads back into his room. My mind goes blank until I hear the door shut behind him. You're running out of time. Those words echo in my head. He's right. I know he's right, and I hate it. It's not fair. I laugh bitterly at that thought. Of course it's not fair. When has it ever been fair? And when was whining ever changed that? I should know that better than most. What I should do is go back into Lord Sanders' room and tell him that I forgive him right now. Consequences be darned. But I'm a coward. Telling him I forgive him will change things. It'll mean I do care. It'll mean that when he dies, it'll hurt. It hurts now, but if I actually say it, if I fully admit it, I knew that he was dying. How to get caught up in it? I should have known better. Why do I have to feel like this? Why can't I just not care? Oh my goodness. Marcel, tell him you forgive him already. Good lord. I barely hear it when another one of the guest rooms opens. This time it's the one leading to Lady Rosalind's room. Instead of Lady Rosalind, however, it was Licia who exits the room. She looks about as terrible as I imagine I do. I'm able to sideline my current thoughts to experience a flash of anger as I wonder what Lady Rosalind said to Licia this time. Whatever it was bound to be uncalled for. Ow, hi Marcel. She sounds tired. You okay? Huh? Oh, yeah, more or less. I think that you should be more worried about yourself, though.